Greetings everyone, and welcome back to another installment in the iWish series. A series in which I investigate rather dubious tech products sold on various sites around the web just to see if they're any good. Most of the time they're not, but I like to buy this stuff so you don't have to. And I think I found this device on a live stream, but I didn't purchase it then. Instead I waited a week or so, and then I eventually purchased this, and now I've got it today, and I want to have a look at it. So I'm not too sure if anyone did donate towards seeing this, but I will just say thank you for possibly donating to see this kind of oddball product reviewed on the channel. As you've seen in the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be taking a look at a small tiny little phone. And as most of you should know by now, mini technology is always just so fascinating to me. So when I seen this item for only $60 Australian, I thought, why not? Let's take a look at it, because I've had a look at a bunch of other small tiny little devices, but the most recent one I've taken a look at was the Unihertz Jelly Star, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll cut it up the top there. But that was Unihertz themselves sending me that phone to take a look at, and I quite liked it, honestly, with its whole LEDs and stuff, but it was a bit of a chonk. Once I get into the listing and start explaining things, you might see that I may have possibly bought myself an earlier Unihertz product. Before I get into the listing, there's timestamps in the description as well as the pinned comment so you can skip along to wherever you need to be. As always, this is going to be just the usual rambly and chill video, but if you need to skip along to certain segments of the video, that's completely all good. That's completely all good. That makes sense. That's not a problem whatsoever. Alright, in today's one, we're taking a look at the 4G LTE Super Mini Smartphone, 2GB RAM, 16GB ROM, 2.45-inch Android 8.1 MTK6737 quad-core Google Play small card mobile pocket phone. That is an absolute tongue twister to say, but currently it's only $62.71 Australian with free shipping from AliExpress. So I'll display the usual currency conversion chart on screen to give you a kind of rough idea of how much this would cost in certain other parts of the world. I mean, this currency conversion chart's really useless, but I still show it anyways. But yeah, for $63 Australian, you get a tiny little phone with a 2.45-inch LCD, 4G, 2GB of RAM, 16GB of storage, and Android 8.1, which for a backup phone or something like that, this is a pretty good dealio. Now, if you've just seen in the listing, it actually does say above the phone, right next to choice, NOMU, which I completely overlooked this during the review. That name is on the box, and I do mention that when I get to the unboxing. Then throughout this review, I don't actually refer to this as a NOMU device, but from what the listing says, and the model being T200, I'm gonna just call this the NOMU T200, but as you'll see during the review, it's kind of a little bit iffy as to what this thing exactly is, but I just wanted to give you that bit of information before we continue on. And we've got most of the specifications for the phone, so we've got the dimensions as 92.4 by 43 by 13 millimeters. The weight's only 60 grams with battery. We've got a MediaTek MT6737 quad-core at 1.3 GHz, which we all know the performance of this, but in a tiny little form factor, we'll see how it goes. Android 8.1 with 2GB of RAM, 16GB of storage, a removable 950mAh battery, support for dual nano SIM cards. The display is a 240 by 432 2.45-inch LCD. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to navigate, but I'll give it my best. Now the camera says 8-megapixel autofocus, but the front camera says no, just no. But if you go back to the top of the listing, there's clearly a front camera. Moving on, we've got the bands list. Feel free to pause the video and take a look at that. If you do use dual SIMs, you'll only get GSM on the second SIM, which is a bit unfortunate. So if this turns out to be a good phone, I will link it in the description below so you can take a look at it, but there's only 25 units left. I'm not being sponsored or anything, but it's just if you want a cheapo phone, this might be a good thing for you, maybe. We'll see how it goes anyways, but yeah, feel free to take a look at it in the description below. It's not an affiliate link either. We've got Wi-Fi at 2.4 GHz as well as 5 GHz, Bluetooth 4.0, no NFC, which not a deal breaker. Sensors wise, G-sensor, compass, gyroscope, no fingerprint scanner. Then it says we've got facial recognition, which it just said we don't have a front camera. So that makes sense. No infrared port, USB is micro USB, no on-the-go support, no customizable key, 3.5mm headphone jack. Nice. No wireless charging, that's fine. And we've also got an FM radio. Package includes no power adapter included. Fucking Christ, I'm speaking English. Package includes no power adapter included. Please prepare 5-volt charging adapter by yourself. Alright, because then below it says phone, battery, EU charger, USB data line. This makes sense, doesn't it? Here we've got some advertising saying it's got Android 8.1. It's the world's smallest phone, supposedly, with a minimalist design, 4G network, 1080p video, and 60.4G low light. It has a high-performance core. That's it. High-performance core. And what game are they even playing? Is that The Witcher? I don't even know what that is. Then you've got it attached to an armband that says charging? Okay. I mean, it could be plugged into a power bank on this person, but that doesn't make sense. The slim and lightweight design make your phone on arm comfortably. I bet it does, except it doesn't come with an armband. Now, as I said earlier in the video, I may have bought a Unihertz product, and why I think I've done this is because the phone that I've bought looks exactly like the Unihertz Jelly Pro, which currently is $105 US from Unihertz official store. And as you can see, it's exactly the same phone as the one that's on AliExpress, but there's a small difference. Here's the specs on screen for both of them. The top one is from the AliExpress listing, the bottom one is from Unihertz themselves. And while it all looks pretty much the same, the AliExpress one has without front camera, 2GB RAM and 16GB ROM have been changed from 3GB and 32GB on Unihertz, but otherwise everything else matches up, which makes me think, have I bought a Unihertz device or have I bought a knockoff of a Unihertz device? But one more thing in the listing is a screenshot from this device saying that the build is for the Unihertz Jelly Pro. So I have absolutely no idea what's going on with this. It's very confusing. So instead of getting confused, let's just jump straight into unboxing this thing and see exactly what I've got, because the pictures in the listing don't have Unihertz written anywhere except for that screenshot. But here is the package, which took 10 days to get from China to Australia, which for around this time of the year is not too bad. But let's take a look at this $63 phone and see if it's worth the asking price. I don't need razor blade. I can just open it up like this. That's good. Here we go. Ooh. Is it Unihertz? What are you, friend? Whoa, what kind of box is that? What? Okay, it's a NOMU. Okay, what? Hang on, wait, what? I'm confused. Wait, what? Hang on. Wait, what? 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 What have I bought? Hang on, what? Hang, what? What? Okay, hang on. What? What? Okay, what? Alright. Okay, original authentic NOMU. Okay, NOMU. LGE 4G Wi-Fi. Mini 4G LTE Wi-Fi camera, all-round fast charge 2.4-inch AMOLED eye-care display, 8-megapixel master triple camera, quad-core 1.1 GHz, and 4G is like everywhere. Ooh, look at that. On the back, then we have what? Hang on. Connectivity, LTE, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, 950 mAh, Android 8.1, 8-megapixel autofocus camera with flashlight, 4G, 3G, 2G, the dimensions, the display, resolution, HD, wasn't it like 254 by 430? Sure. 4G, water drop display, 4-day battery life and fast charge, HD camera, DTS, which is Dolby, audio processing and music party mode, Wi-Fi. What is going on with this? And on the bottom, we've got 4G LTE T200 Black, which T200 is the model. But where is the IMEI information? Is there IMEI info under this? No, there's not. Okie dokie. I'll just put that back there and pretend I wasn't there. All right, let's take a look at this thing. Is it what we think it is, or is it not what we think it is? Yep, that's what I bought. Inside we get, what is that? Oh, it's a lanyard thing. Looks like a frying pan on top of something. The power brick, oh my god, oh, okay. It's a switching adapter, 5 volt at 1.5 amps. This doesn't weigh a whole lot. And we got a micro USB cable as well. And the user manual, it's not the user manual, it's just user manual. Simple instructions. SIM micro SD method of use. Keyboard function, manage your contacts, make a phone call, record the moment, keep moving pieces, appreciate the colorful picture, send an email, enjoy the wonderful music, use the internet. Welcome to use the Android smartphone. That's good. Oh, open the contact. Open the dial. Will screen printing graphic and SIM card according to the fuselage inserted into the booth. Avoid registration failed. Please in strict accordance with the graphic operation. Jesus, this thing's confusing. Alright, let's just put everything back in and pretend I didn't see anything. Put my bonus frying pan keychain back in there. There you go. Alright, let's take a look at NOMU. There's NOMU. Where's the 3 cameras, buddy? AMOLED display. Yes, you do. And fast charge too. Yes. Let's take this off and watch all the fingerprints gather on this little thing. Oh, look at that. Well, it looks like the Unihertz Jelly. At the front, we've clearly got... Hang on. Wait a second. Hold up. There's actually no front camera. It's just a hole. There's actually no front camera. So how do you have face recognition, my friend? If you're as confused as I am, congratulations. Welcome to the club. We've got this very glossy finish on here. Earpiece at the top, probably the home button on the screen there. Around the sides we've got the volume buttons. At the bottom, the hole for the lanyard there and an opening for the microphone as well as to open the back cover. The side we've got the power button and the micro USB port, and then at the top we've got the 3.5mm headphone jack, and then on the back we have more fingerprints, the 8-megapixel camera, LED flash, and what does it say there? Oh, it says AI camera just on that little piece there, and then our speaker grill for the back there. Popping the back cover off, which was kind of difficult. Here is the battery, which says remove me. How well. That looks exactly like the Unihertz battery. It doesn't have a SIM tray, obviously, because the batteries are removable. It would make sense. Let's take this. Okay, the whole thing's coming off with it. If they've somehow put an AMOLED display in this, but taken away the front camera, I'm happy with that. I'd rather an AMOLED display, but I don't think it's AMOLED. Also has the bands list on the back there too, which is helpful. I've got the Posh Micro X, and I thought the battery would fit, but it doesn't. I need a battery for this. That's a small phone. Basically the same thing, isn't it? Except that has a front camera. Shut up, birds. We're gonna have to check to see if dual SIM actually does work on this, or if it is 2G and then 4G. Which is SIM 1? With my not spooky micro SD card installed and 2 SIM cards, let's pop the battery in and try and work out the mystery of this thing. I'll have to clean the screen like every 3 seconds, but that's alright. Doesn't look like an OLED display, but hey, prove me wrong. On we go. Is it a Wacom? No, it's an Android, but that's okay. Proof to see if it's... yep, it's LCD. You can see it bouncing around there. Oh, it's not a Wacom, it's an Android. I mean, that's what you are, fella. There it is. Okay. No service and no service. Telstra, got Telstra 3G. Let's see if I get Vodafone. Okay, I've got 4G on one, but I don't think I'm going to get service on the other SIM card. So that definitely does confirm it now that one slot is 4G, and if you do use dual SIMs, it's 2G for the other one. I'll just stick with card 1. There we go. And we've booted up. It's a small phone, but it's adorable. Look at this little tiny thing. Oh, it's cute. Oh, does this have any front sensors? It doesn't look like it does. But we've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, do not disturb, flashlight. Oh, let's see how bright it is. Oh, that's kind of not bad. That's not bad for a tiny little phone, actually. We'll have to see how it goes during the camera test. Auto rotate, battery saver, mobile data, airplane mode, location, and that's about it within there. We're at 28%, 27%, just dropped there. And then app-wise, we've got calculator, calendar, camera, cell broadcast, Chrome, clock, compass, contacts, downloads, drive, Duo, file manager, flashlight, FM radio, Gmail, Google Keep Notes, Maps, messaging, music, Pedometer. Cool. Phone, photos, play movies, play music, play store, settings, SIM toolkit, sound recorder, and YouTube on here. So we've got everything that we need on this, which is quite good. And is this... Oh, I didn't even realize that's their actual... Oh, hang on. Hang on. What? Look at the background. Someone's been testing this. Oh, there's music on here. Well, there was music on here. I seen Alan Walker faded just there. Yeah, someone's went to this and tested it all. Look at that. That looks kind of cool. I'm just going to take out my Vodafone SIM card and leave the Telstra one in. I feel like I have to zoom in. There you go. Is that better? Now you can see what's on the display. The screen resolution is not the best, as you can see there, but it will do for a tiny little device. It's fine, but it's got 4G with VoLTE, so that's good with Telstra. But let's jump straight into settings. Oh, there was no setup screen either. Once I tear this down and stuff, I'll reset this and see if it comes up with any setup. Network and internet, Wi-Fi. Do we have 5 gigahertz like it said? We have 5 gigahertz, nice. Now here's the point where I go, how does one even try and do this? I had slight problems on the Unihertz Jelly Star. The Melrose K-Touch thing that I looked at a while ago, I had problems with. The phone babies I've also had problems with. Yeah, look, the keyboard's not going to be really usable on this, but I can try. Yeah, no, that's not, oh my lord. It's like typing on a Tic Tac. I'm pretty sure I've said that joke before, but it's true. Did I did it? I did it! I'm connected. Awesome. That's to go back. No, I want that. Mobile network. Preferred networks. I'm just going to quickly see. Yeah, it's Telstra 4G, so that's fine. It is actual 4G. SIM cards, VPN, all that good stuff. Don't need to see much there. Connected devices, Bluetooth. Oh, Bluetooth. What does it come up for this device? What is it called? T200. So no sign of Unihertz just yet. Apps and notifications. So let's go through this and see if there's anything Unihertz like, or anything that we might want to open up later on to see what it can do. This tiny little display, trying to find Unihertz. I see Tencent there. Oh, nope, I've just stuffed up there. Devices property, something we have to open up with QuickShortcutMaker. Downloads, Duraspeed, engineer modes, something mobile bank, alrighty. Google stuff, all looking good. Home screen tips, launcher 3, LED notification. We have to see if it's got an LED. Memory tester, MTK stuff, music FX, pedometer, phone, sensor calibration, settings, storage, SIM recovery, system UI, which is Oreo, turn silent, my GPS and YouTube. I didn't see anything Unihertz in there. But then again, Unihertz uses really stock versions of Android, and they don't really have any branded apps. Oh, that's cool! The little home button's the notification LED. I didn't even think that'd be the case. That's nifty. All these little gimmicks are making me feel good. Smart Assistant. Physical key switch. Oh, that's to flip them around. I thought that was to display stuff on screen. Alright, Power Save Manager. Okay, we'll just leave that. Battery saving mode. Battery profiles. Alrighty. Well, with a 950 mAh battery, you're not going to get too far with this. Network Manager, you can choose what uses mobile and Wi-Fi. LED notification, yep, all that good stuff. And flip to mute. So you just go and it mutes. Battery, 18%, 20 minutes left. Last full charge 32 days ago. Yeah, they could have been testing it, fully charged it up and then sent it out. That makes sense. I've put the battery percentage on so you can watch it go whee! In sounds, do we have best Auden? Or best loudness? Best loudness! Yes, put that on. The speaker actually doesn't sound too bad. With each of the clicks that it's doing every time I tap on something, it's quite punchy, but we'll have to see during the speaker test. In display, mirror vision, brightness, wallpaper. Alright, what have we got? We've just got one wallpaper. No, we don't. I take that back. We have a whole heap of them. So we have Earth, then we have red stuff, then we have red galaxy, then we have colorful mist of colorfulness, and then that which is borrowed off something, then that which is Unihertz for sure. Then we have broken up things that look like the Combine, put them there. Then we have, oh, that! Oh my god, I know where that's from. Let's see if I'm right. Is it the same? Oh, it is. Oh my god. So I used to use this wallpaper, and in my videos as well. This is literally called Circuit Board Art Wallpaper, and they've just stuck that on there. Mark your calendars, folks. The first time SMOOREZ has actually recognized a wallpaper on a phone today. Yep. I mean, they all look pretty nice and vibrant. That's iPhone, I think. Honestly, the red one looked pretty cool. I'll do home and lock screen for both. See how vibrant the colors are, which, I mean, they're not bad. Overall, it's not too bad at all. We've had Welcome devices with 720p displays which look worse than this, but for a 2.45-inch display, it's pretty good. And so far the usability of this, apart from the keyboard, is actually quite reasonable. Storage, we have 16GB of internal storage with my microSD card there. Security and lock screen. Face unlock. Let's just see what happens here. Done. Start and roll. Okie dokie. There's nothing. There's no front camera. Unless there is a front camera, but they've painted over it, which doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? But face recognition's on here. How strange is that? I'm gonna add a Gmail onto this. Wish me luck. How does SMOOREZ type in his email on this? I mean, I could type it in like this. That's easier, yeah? But that ruins the experience, does it not? Welcome. Birds official. I don't know how the hell I didn't do it properly. Oops. There we go, now I can celebrate my victory. Welcome Phones Official, I did it. Also, the phone's starting to heat up, but that could be because I'm holding it tight, and I don't know. Let me type in my password now. Yo, good luck with this. If you have the phone in front of your face, and you're typing, and the battery says, I'm dying, you can manage this. I'm signed in. And now that the battery's dying, that's flashing at me, going, help, help, I need life support. Hang on, buddy, we're not through settings yet. Let me get through settings first. Accessibility, you have talkback, switch access. Google stuff and system, we have gestures. Oh. Hello. Why'd you beep at me? I don't know, it's dying slowly. There's no gestures, so no system navigation, it's just those capacitive keys, which is good, that's fine. System update, let's see. Nope, I just clicked back up. System update. Unihertz also has an issue with doing system updates and stuff. Even security patches, they're very, very iffy with, but yeah, nothing here. So if this is in fact a Unihertz device, then we're not going to get too much for the updates. About phone, we have... Okay, it's beeping at me all the time, mate. That's okay. Wireless update. To avoid OTA update failure, please ensure battery level is much higher than 50%. Okay, so we're going to need to charge you up. There's both IMEIs there. If you want to look them up and see if they correspond with the Unihertz Jelly Pro, be quite interesting to see if they do or not. We also have a unique serial number too. So is this a rebranded device? I'm still unsure of that yet. Model is a T200 with Android 8.1, so we get to see our little friend, the octopus, go wee around the screen. Is he laggy? No, he's smooth. Look at him go. He's listening to rave music. And then we have the build number, which I'll put developer options on kernel version and baseband version just there, which doesn't give me any indication whatsoever with what's going on. Finally, developer options, I will put USB debugging on, and I'll also put the animations down to 0.5, unless they're already at 0.5. That's smooth. Honestly, that's actually really smooth. Oh, now we're at 5% battery life. Yeah, it's actually really smooth. For a very basic 4G MediaTek device and 2 gigs of RAM, fairly snappy. So this already has better value than most Wacom devices, which is not saying much actually. Live support, it's now down to 2%. Let me give this a quick call before I jump into the cameras, because I'm very curious about the cameras actually. I forgot to check the ringtones. It's not Flutie phone. How does it sound? Oh, good. Yeah. It doesn't have front sensors, by the way. I'll splice in the call quality test for this, so you can hear how good it sounds on this tiny little device.
Here's the call quality on the tiny little tic-tac of a phone. This is what it sounds like, which is actually pretty good for this tiny little thing with VoLTE and all that sort of stuff. It's very clear, and I really don't have any complaints with this. So let's move on to the microphone and see if that's of decent quality. And this is the microphone quality on the tic-tac, or the T200 thing. Doesn't sound too bad at all. Honestly, I can't complain with the quality of this. And as I said earlier, this does not have any front sensors in it as far as I know at this point in time. But when I take it apart, I'll get a better look and see if there is.
That doesn't sound too bad at all, to be fairly honest. It doesn't sound like total garbage, which is good. But yeah, I completely forgot in sounds, because I haven't looked at an Android phone for so long. Feels like it's been so long. The phone ringtones, there's 31 of them. Not gonna lie, there's some certified bangers in there. May I call you a big spurker? Maybe. Wait a second! Wait a second! What? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. No. Wait. Okay. Here, look, folks. Hang on. We have to stop. Stop. Look at what I found on the back. It's like they've tried to cover it off. But there is the Unihertz branding right there. I did not see this, because look, like this, you can't see that it has Unihertz written on it. But if you do that, that's where Unihertz actually pops up. Because look, it's gone. I'm absolutely tripping here. Okay, alright, maybe I didn't have enough sleep last night. Let me do this again, okay? One continuous shot, no cuts or anything, right? Ready, set, go. Magic trick. Oh, wait, what? Hang on. No, hang on. Come back, Unihertz. Oh, there it is! Yeah, look! What the fuck? I am confusion. And then look. See, it goes away. It's gone. That's gone. That is not there. Jeez, this is the most confused I've ever been during a phone review, I think. Just do a little something like this. Maybe it's heat. Oh, maybe it comes up with heat or something. But yeah, look. If I do that a couple of times, there it is. Unihertz. Is everyone else confused at the moment? Because I'm very confusion right now. So we do have a Unihertz Jelly Pro, but then why is there no front camera? That's confused. Okay, let's open up the camera then. Alright, here we have the camera, which autofocus, well, manual focus. What have we got? A whole bunch of effects, which I'll just do none. Then we have, what did that do? There's that little mode there, which I don't know what that does. HDR, LED flash on, face beauty mode, that's good. Normal mode, panorama mode, settings. We've got 8 megapixels and video-wise 1080p with EIS, but there's no way to switch to the front camera. What's this mode do? What do you do, mode? Hello? What do you do, buddy? Is this slow motion? Oh my god, that's slow motion. With that sound. Yes, slow motion. This has slow motion. Alright. At this point in time, apart from being very confused, I'm also very intrigued by this thing. Because it is a Unihertz device, rebranded as something else. Let me go take some photos and videos with the only camera on this. We'll come back, talk about them, and I'll also do a battery test on this to see how it goes. I'm not expecting too much with 950 milliamp hours, but we'll see how we go. Enjoy the possibly decent photos and videos that you're about to see with this. Imposter. It's an imposter. No, I don't know what it is. Testing video quality on the imposter phone. Well, it's a Unihertz Jelly Pro, but it's rebranded as something. And this is without EOS, and we do have focus. I have to manual focus it though, but it looks okay on a tiny little display. Pictures don't look too bad either. I also got pictures of the butterfly, which is cool, but let's see if I can get autofocus happening. No, I don't think so. I think manual focus is the way to go. There you go. I'll do a test with EOS on as well, just to see if it's any different. But it's very hot outside. It's 33 degrees at the moment. What the hell happened? There we go. There's neighbors yelling. There's the bolts, if you can see them there. And then these two, there we go, that's nice. So just sort of looking around. There's them there. How much of lemons? That's where the butterfly was. There's a lemon there. And there's any there. Looking good. Looking shiny. Ish. If I go up close, actually, can you see all the details? There we go. Look at the sky. God, it looks nice. Far away aircon though. Yeah, safe to say pretty shaky. EIS may help. Maybe, slightly. Let's put EIS on, see if it makes a difference. Also, big lemon. Jesus Lord. Okay, this is with EIS on. Has it made a difference? Maybe. Slightly. I can kind of see it a bit jittery, if that makes sense. Like if I just go ahead and just walk, it's a little bit kind of weird, but I'll go back to the faraway aircon. Is that better? If I zoom in, yeah, it works. EIS does work. There you go. Well, that's the video quality with this. Sad I can't do anything with the front camera because, well, there is no front camera. So that's what we're left with. But for a $65 device, it's performing reasonable so far. But let's not jump to any conclusions and keep testing this device and see how it goes. You've been outside. You don't want to go back out there again. It's hot. You'll melt. She's been out there already. God, it's hot as out there. She loves to just look out the door anyways, and I've got the aircon on stuff, so I have this open and then it gets hot inside the house. So we can't win, can we, Rip? When it gets cooler, I'll take you out. When that dog barks next door, she gets absolutely scared and she just freaks. So if I'm holding her just out there, she jumps straight out and comes back inside. But she's just happy to look, aren't you? You're just happy to look. She wants to sunbake too. Alright, testing video quality on the, well, Unihertz thing at night time with the LED flash. This is with EOS on as well. Just thought I may as well leave it on. And it looks okay. The LED's fairly bright. It doesn't really help in photos, but for videos, it's pretty good. It's also cooled down from earlier. It's nice and cool out here now. Let's go for a look at the lemon. Does it look vibrant? Does it look good? I don't know. I mean, it looks alright. Can you see Zenny now? Look at all the cobwebs. Ugh. Still the same thing with focusing. There we go. I can tell you now that the battery is absolutely horrendous on this. I'll talk about that soon. Alright, we're back. You've just seen the photos and videos that I took with the T200, or the mysterious Unihertz phone. Let's quickly talk about the camera quality. It's actually not half bad, and with HDR, that definitely does work to brighten things up, but it kind of overdoes it. It's still better than I expected though. Like, here's just a normal shot, but this is on a small display, so you can't really judge it too much from this. But just looking back at the photos on my PC, they're fine for a $60 device. And autofocus does kick in, after a little bit, but I just prefer to just manual focus, which I have to talk about touching certain areas of the touchscreen as well. Video-wise though, oh boy, that's pretty lacking. 1080p 30 FPS, and even a decent bitrate of 17 megabits per second, it just doesn't look great at all. Very compressed looking and extremely shaky. I will put a warning before the camera test to let you all know that there may be motion sickness because it is so shaky. That's to happen with a tiny little device like this. So that's why I tried it with EIS on, and that did help it ever so slightly, but the shakiness is still there. I could have tried open camera to see if I could push anything out of this, but I think I get a good idea of the camera quality anyways. And the front camera, well, that looked great, didn't it? We'll have to get to that one once we get to the teardown. Yeah, the issue with the touchscreen, you may have seen it when I first opened up the camera, because of this tiny little display. Android isn't really meant for a screen this small, and trying to take a photo most of the time, when I was going out there, okay, I took a photo that time, but I kept doing this, touching just down there. It's such a small area for the camera shutter key, so eventually I just used the volume buttons and just took photos that way. It was just a lot easier. But even the notifications, when they pop up just along here, trying to touch one of these, I've pressed the wrong button so many times during testing, but I guess this also is a bit of a novelty phone. There's a market out there for tiny little devices, but using this as your daily driver and expecting all the functions to work perfectly fine with this form factor may prove to be a little bit difficult. The Jelly Star, on the other hand, that has a bigger display and is much more usable than this, although that's more expensive than this, and I still don't quite trust this as of yet. Moving on to the battery test. Here's some screenshots. It dropped down to 27% over a day on just standby with Wi-Fi and 4G, but nothing else. And for 950 mAh, I wasn't expecting too much, but the minute you start to use this phone and do practically anything on it, like you see at the start of the video, that battery just goes wee, and then it's dead. The system on chip that's in this isn't that power efficient at all, and with the battery capacity being 950 mAh, it was very much to be expected. But to give you an idea of the battery life not on standby, doing the camera test, which took about half an hour or so, the phone went from 100% down to 43%. With just me talking about this, it's dropped, what, 4% already? So you're definitely not going to be able to get even close to a day of general usability on this. And as mentioned earlier as well, this phone does get quite warm, and during that camera test, it got really hot. Didn't help that it was 33 degrees outside. Even back inside and sitting here at my desk with the aircon on, it still just warms up quite fast. There wouldn't be much cooling going on in this thing. As for charging it back up though, it doesn't take long at all due to the capacity of the battery, but true to the box, all around fast charge, it definitely does have fast charge, because when I had it connected to my PC, it came up with charging slowly. When I moved to a 5V 2A adapter, it did say charging rapidly. So let's check to see what it does come up with using my Charge power bank. Yep, 5V 2A. Not really fast charging in that sense. It's the basic of basics when it comes to fast charging. But with the capacity of the battery being so low, it doesn't need to be anything ridiculous, so at least it's got that. That's all with battery and charging. Now, let's test your memory. When I was in settings earlier and I went to wireless update, it didn't work because I had 50% battery life, but look what it says. Unihertz Jelly Pro 2019, with still no updates of course. After doing some research, the original Unihertz Jelly only had 1 or 2 gigs of RAM, but it also had a 2 megapixel front camera, which this doesn't have. But I've dumped the system files, from this, most of them anyways, and Pancake quickly went through them. We may have a brand name for this, being A-Gold, which I'll presumably see that during my look through QuickShortcutMaker. So honestly can't wait to get to the specs and teardown so I can get a better understanding of this device, just because I'm still quite confused with this. That's all of the updates. Now I can finally go ahead and start showing you what I've installed. So I've installed device info hardware, I've installed Geekbench, Freedom, GTA San Andreas, QuickShortcutMaker, and CPU system info. So we'll just go through the apps as we need to. Cell Broadcast is just emergency alerts, don't need to go there. Chrome on the other hand, we're on 91% battery life, just in Google Chrome. So let's just scroll through here. All right, and let's just say we want to open up the Unihertz website. That was quite fast then. And let's just go to the Jelly Pro, which is $104, $105. Battery's still at 91%. Yeah, you can browse the web on this, but if you were to do social media and stuff, it'll drop. So it just dropped 1% just then. So less than a minute within the browser, we drop 1% battery life. When I get to gaming, I wonder how fast it'll drop. Yeah, look, if you wanted to quickly Google something on this, you can, but I wouldn't expect to get too far with it. Clock, we don't need to go into. Compass works, surprisingly. Contacts, device info hardware we'll come back to. Downloads, don't need to go into. Same with Drive. File manager is just the stock file manager, which you've all seen before. Flashlight, looks like that. Switch it on, switch it off. FM radio's up next, so I guess we'll quickly try that. Do we need earphones? We need earphones. We've got headphones, close enough, same thing. Let's see what's on Australian radio on a Thursday night at 10:32 PM. Not a whole lot. Speaker-wise, actually doesn't sound too bad at all. I'm glad it has a headphone jack. I was going to say, if you want to just use this for music, I honestly don't know how long it would last. You might get a couple of hours out of it, that I wouldn't be too sure of. Freedom we'll come back to, same with Geekbench, Gmail, Google TV, San Andreas we'll come back to, Keep Notes, Maps. I did do a quick GPS test while I was in the backyard. Worked perfectly fine. If you wanted to use this for GPS in your car and just have it connected all the time, you could do that, but I did see earlier that even while having this connected to a power source and using it, the battery does still drain in that circumstance. So not really a good idea, but if you want to know that GPS works, it works. Google Meet, messaging, music. Well, there we go. We're at the speaker test now. So, of course, I've got BFG Division on here, but I also have some music that I made a couple of years ago, and I thought may as well just try it on this speaker and just see what it sounds like. So, let's try BFG Division first. Now, remember, best loudness is on. Not the loudest. For a tiny phone, that speaker is actually quite acceptable. And with best loudness on, it does help it ever so slightly. It's got a bit of kick to it. So this is one of the songs I made many years ago. Just a basic drum and bass track when it gets to the drum and bass. And that's with a lot of bass in there too. Alright, I don't know if I'll use that in any other speaker tests, but yeah, just some variety to throw in there. You'll have to let me know if you want to hear that again, or any of my other crappy music that I've made. Next up, Pedometer, which does work, because if I lock the screen, right there it's got a step counter, so it just works out of the box. Phone, photos, Play Store, QuickShortcutMaker we'll come back to. Settings, Sim Toolkit, sound recorder looks a little something like that, with a little meter there. Seriously, it's been a while since I've looked at an Android device, it feels so weird going back to this. CPU system info, and YouTube. So I guess let's do Costa Rica at 4K on this. Yes, quality, advanced, 1080p 60 FPS. I mean, we've got what, 240p here? Yeah. Oh, hello. As I just said, we've got 240p, so it can't really do 1080p. It goes smooth, and then it goes laggy, and then it goes smooth, and then it goes laggy. The screen itself, once again, I'll praise for being pretty decent on this. It's not as vibrant as, you know, the Jelly SAR and stuff, but for a 2.45 inch display, looking like that, it's pretty good. But yeah, realistically, if you were to do YouTube, you'd be probably, what, 240p? If that's a 240p, it's still lagging. Oh, it's smooth now. It's alright. It's okay. Looks the same at 240p from 1080p, actually. But yeah, look at that. It looks very, very vibrant. I think it dropped 3% while just playing 1:39 of YouTube. It's okay, I've got life support handy just in case, which I'm going to need that because that's sort of all of the default applications. So now let's start testing out the specs and stuff, which we've got Geekbench. And what does it say? Unihertz T200? Hold on a second. I didn't even think to put Unihertz and T200 together, actually. Googling Unihertz T200 doesn't come up with anything in particular. It comes up with an easy phone. That's a T200, but otherwise nothing else. But we do have the MediaTek MT6737T, which was as advertised. And I've done a few benchmarks with this processor before, but let's run it on this and see how it goes. Watch the battery life. Done. And the battery only dropped to 69%. I thought it would have dropped a lot further than that, but we got 130 for single and 394 for the multi-core score. A lot more than I was expecting. I was just using that to balance it up so you could see the battery life. So the Sugar A100 had an MT6739 in it, but that only got a single of 104 and 313. The Soap phone had a Snapdragon 430 in it, and it got 113 for single and 520 for multi. These are all just numbers at the end of the day. I get a good idea of the performance of this. It's just wasn't expecting it to be that high with the multi-core. The phone is extremely hot now. I mean, it's still fine to hold and stuff, but it's just pretty hot as it is. So we're definitely giving our little buddy, the MediaTek processor, a workout in there. Let's try some gaming. But first, I'm going to need a keyboard. I'll just put Tic Tac there. I mean, it's called T200. I can call it Tic Tac. And let me load up Freedom. That's better. All right, here we go. Wow, it's super smooth. Well, I mean, that's to be expected. Oh, look at that. Just like that, you're playing Doom. On the go does not work either. I tried a on the go adapter with a USB keyboard, and nope, didn't work. So, a bit unfortunate, but hey, you could play Doom on this. You could buy this as a dedicated Doom console phone thing if you wanted to. It's up to you. Of course it plays Doom at the end of the day, but I had to test it just to make sure. We're at 62% battery life now. Time for San Andreas. Let's try and use the touchscreen for this one. I'll put everything up to max, and let's see what happens. I think this is the smallest device I've tried San Andreas on. Well, I know that we have multi-touch. And would you look at that? Nice and smooth. Let's hop in a car, or steal a bike. That will be fine. Buttons, there we go. Oh boy. Oh, haptic works. Oh, oh. Yeah, I made that jump, didn't I? Because I'm on a motorbike. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to control because, you know, very small screen and there's not a lot you can do here. But the fact that it plays San Andreas quite well, I mean, at the screen resolution it's at 480 by 232, which I think is less than what the PS2 had. It still looks really good, and that's a wall. Well, you know what I mean. But let me just keep playing this for a couple more minutes and see how the battery life goes. Maybe I should get in a car. Does that car have hydraulics? How do you pop a wheelie? I realized I could have made my life easier and just used the Bluetooth keyboard, but where's the fun in that? It does get a little bit choppy here and there, but this is all at maximum, so the fact that it's actually still going good is impressive. Yeah, if it was this processor and a 1080p display, we'd probably see a lot more lag happening, but due to the resolution, it's scaled it down quite a bit. Whee! Man, this looks so lame compared to GTA 6. Oh, I can't wait for that. It'll be 2 more years, and I'll be older. It better be worth it. That's San Andreas on this. What's the battery life at now? 58%. I've been filming for a total of 52 minutes, and I started this at, what, 96% or something like that? And I'm down to 58%. I could probably give you an estimate of how long this would last. Probably about 3 hours out of the day, I'd say you'd be getting decent usage out of this. Let's now confirm the specifications of this and go into device info hardware to see what's going on in here. Unihertz T200, MT6735, but it said 6737 before. 2GB of LPDDR3. System on chip is the MT6737T. So then you go back and it's MT6735, but it's still quad-core processor with a Mali T720 GPU. System T200, 8.1, Oreo, and Jelly Pro for device and product is Jelly Pro. I haven't seen A Gold as of yet, and I don't have root access either. Yeah, the screen is 240p, but let me see multi-touch. 1, 2, 3. Really? 5-point? No. How can I do 5-point multi-touch on this tiny little display? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-point multi-touch on that. That is impressive. I was not expecting it to be 5-point multi-touch. Holy moly. 2GB DDR3, 16GB of internal storage. The camera says 8.3 megapixels for the back and nothing for the front there. Interesting. 950mAh battery. We do have an accelerometer, magnetometer, and a gyroscope. No light sensors or anything like that. That's definitely confirmed. There's no sensors in there. So let me open up CPU system info last and just double check everything just to see. There it is, Unihertz T200 Jelly Pro. But the Jelly Pro has 3GB and 32GB. I'm just so confused. I've said that I'm confused so much during this review that I'm even confused that I'm confused. That makes sense. Quad core, 16GB, 2GB. Screen size, 2.1 inches. Not correct, it's 2.45. Says that for the capacity there, which is always incorrect. We know it's 950mAh. CPU temperature is only at 41 degrees though. I mean, it has cooled down significantly since doing everything else beforehand. Sensors, accelerometer, oh, they actually do work. The magnetic field thingy and the gyroscope are actually picking up stuff. Camera is just 8.1 megapixels for the back. And that's it. Last but not least, QuickShortcutMaker. Let's see if we can find this A-Gold stuff. I can't actually see what it says underneath each of these applications, what it says. But I do see there, auto power on and off, com.agold, auto power on and off. Oh, it's just a testing thing. I'm having to look at this close up just to see. Devices property. Let's try this. Sub camera, main to auto detect. Nothing's there for it. Touch panel, G sensor, memory, pull product time, CPU model, all that sort of stuff there. Face unlock, well, that's from Elephant Tech. IMEI tool from A Gold. Okay, you can just casually change the IMEIs on this. It is illegal to change IMEIs. Anywho, memory tester, which is RAM tester, and it just crashed. I'll go back to memory tester, not the RAM tester. Okay, yeah, memory tester just there. Network manager from A Gold. I did read the Wikipedia article when trying to do research for this, and it says that network traffic possibly sent to China, but they claim the network traffic is to speed up apps, and the company has been updating the phone software to improve performance. This may not be from Unihertz, and the network manager opened up the, well, network manager. That's another thing that's also not quite clear there. There's nothing else that really sort of sticks out to me that I need to open up and take a look at. Feel free to comb through the system files and see what you can find. I thought one of them would have been to maybe change the specs or something like that, but nothing like that on here. Well, that's everything that I have to look at on the presumably Unihertz Jelly Pro, or the A Gold T200, or the Unihertz T200. I don't even know what it is. Hopefully I might be able to get some information when I tear it down. For the asking price of $60 Australian on AliExpress, you get a headphone jack. You get 4G with VoLTE, Android 8.1, 2GB of RAM, 16GB of storage, space for a micro SD card, a reasonable camera, photo-wise anyways, and a display that's actually decent for the size. But then pretty much it comes down to this is a very niche product and it only covers a very, very small percentage of you folks that want small technology, but it's not really usable in a daily driver situation. But as like a backup device, you're really just not going to get far with the battery life. That's the main thing that lets us down, is that you'd probably get a decent 3 hours out of it before needing to charge it again. So even as a music player, it probably wouldn't be good enough for it. So it's more just for the folks out there that want a cheap phone but really don't want to use it at all, because the minute you start using it, that battery life is just going to drop. If there was a 2000 mAh battery in this, it'd be a lot better, but they couldn't fit too much in this tiny form factor, and with the Unihertz Jelly Star, that's now double the size of this. So some corners had to be cut to get it to this size. Should I recommend you purchasing this though? If you're intrigued by this sort of stuff, then yes. But if you're seriously thinking of using it as a, you know, daily driver or something like that, I'd stay away from this. I've reviewed other cheapo phones from AliExpress that have been fairly decent, but this is just one that I can't really recommend. It was just, I've seen this on AliExpress, I was interested to take a look at it. It's Unihertz somewhat, but at the end of the day, it's just a tiny little phone that does have capabilities, but is just let down by the battery life. That's my conclusion for this little fella. So let's switch T200 off, or TicTac. I will factory reset it after I do the disassembly, which shouldn't be too hard. Should be 4 screws and we're in. Also, expanding on the conclusion, this just heats up so quickly. Not much cooling for that MediaTek processor, which is a fairly old MediaTek processor and isn't very power efficient by any means. Also, I forgot to mention that the battery looks like a Samsung battery, but this looks exactly like the replacement Unihertz Jelly Pro battery, except without the Unihertz branding. Oh, look at this. That's flat, but look at the paint job. Ah, now I can see what's going on. They've covered it up by simply just spray painting a glossy finish over this matte black cover, and that's why I'm able to see the Unihertz there. What's the purpose of doing it? Wouldn't it just be better to leave the Unihertz branding, you know, nice and clear? Let's take out the, it's 6 screws holding this together and see what's inside. Apart from a motherboard and a screen and a camera. I just want to see if the front camera, if they've just spray painted over it. It's kind of looking that way. The sticker was holding it down. There we go. That's it. There's the bottom loudspeaker there, which is fairly run-of-the-mill, size-wise. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. No wonder why I couldn't see which SIM card slot was where, because they've put this sticker on there, and it looks like there was a pre-existing sticker there that they've ripped off, and then just printed this one and stuck that down. I'm still confused. Anywho, alright. So disconnecting the LCD and the touch ribbon, which is just right next to the volume buttons. I thought it was the volume button flex. The whole motherboard can just lift away to reveal the innards. Let's address the elephant in the room. The front camera appears to just have been replaced by a plastic camera lens with a foam piece under there. Not even a decorative camera. Alright, I'll just put that back in place and pretend I wasn't here. Well, that makes sense then. That's why there's no front camera. There's a little earpiece there, and we do have metal shielding at the back here for heat dissipation through the screen, but that doesn't really work. But the motherboard itself, the rear camera, is this guy here with a code on it that says TSC8024815B. There you go, if you can kind of see that. But that is just a standard 8 megapixel camera with no optical image stabilization, just fixed. There's just no front camera there. So how would they... Aha! There it is! There's the connector for the front camera right there. Why would they not include the front camera? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There's information down the bottom there that says it's a C223, which I'll Google that to see if it comes up with anything. But have you also noticed this? It's a D-tool? Amazing cool technology. I assume it means that it's keeping it cool. But what exactly are you then? Oh, it's just a bit of graphite tape covering the shielding. That's what was keeping the processor cool. Not exactly the greatest there, but alright. Good thing though is that I can pull the shielding off. See how easy it is to do it this way? There you go. Oh, there actually is thermal pads in here. We've got what looks like a Samsung module just there, which should be the 2 gig plus 16 gig. And if we take the thermal pad off this chip, we should see the MediaTek something or other. MediaTek MT673V right there. Not that you can really see that though, but it definitely is an MT6737V. That back there, and this would likely be the power IC. What I would be interested in doing though, is actually getting a 2 megapixel camera, sticking it there, and seeing if it would actually work or not. The thing is though, I've got so many devices that I'd have to look through each of them and try and find a camera that would fit perfectly there, because it would likely go sort of up and then around to there. I'd like to try and put a 2 megapixel front camera in this just to see if it would just then work, because the connector's there, but we've got nothing in this. I just don't understand why they would not have put a front camera in this. What money do they save by taking it out? I'm asking too many questions that I don't know the answers to. If you folks have any ideas, feel free to let me know, because it's beyond my knowledge. I don't know why they would have done this. I get there was probably a bunch of these sitting around in a warehouse and someone's just went, yeah, alright, I'll just rebrand these as the NOMU T200, and there we go. I've just made a brand new phone. But while I'm at it, why don't I just take the front camera out too? Still confused. Alright, let me go ahead and put this thing back together because I've seen enough. I'll need the help from you folks out there to explain to me what this is. It could be something so simple, but it's looking like these guys have rebranded a Unihertz device and then took the front camera away for some reason. I thought of something. Why don't I boot it into recovery? That might tell me something. Let me just quickly test it before I put all the screws back in. Still works. While it's booting up, I'll display the full specs to the side just in case you want to learn the full specs of this, but I'm pretty sure I've went over them earlier in the video. That's all of them. That's in this. I'll probably add AGold to the list because that's what was in the system files. It should be working. There we go. Alright. I didn't kill the touchscreen. Buttons are still good. Let me try and boot it into recovery mode. Alright, recovery would be volume up and power, I'd say. There it is. Unihertz Jelly Pro. Okay. Well, it's a Unihertz Jelly Pro then. But let me do a factory reset and let's see if setup comes up. Or if it doesn't. Setup! Did I FRP yet? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. It's all the usual setup here. Also, when I logged into Gmail on this, it just said you'd signed in on a new Android device. It didn't say what one specifically. Was that the default wallpaper? I don't know. There it is, all working. All back to factory, but why they didn't ship it factory reset? Maybe because they were testing everything and they just left it, I guess. That's the look at the T200 from AliExpress. That is still available, and you can purchase it if you want. I'll leave a link in the description below. Not an affiliate link, it's just there if you want to take a look at it. If you find a use for this, you folks are going to have to decipher what's going on with this, because my little brain cannot work out what they've done. Good luck with explaining it. At the core, it is a Unihertz product. Everything else about it, I'm just not too sure about. I think that's enough of an investigation with this one for today. So if you've made it to the end of the video without using timestamps, or even if you have used timestamps, just thanks so much for tuning into this one. I really do appreciate it, and it was a real joy going back to looking at an Android device. Having looked at all the cheapo feature phones and then going back to this, it was a bit different, slightly different than usual. Started off with a very confusing device, but yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed this one, and feel free to tell me what you thought of this one down in the comments below, and go through the system files as well. I'll put them on the Internet Archive. Go through them and steal the wallpapers. I'm so glad I recognised where that one wallpaper came from. That was a moment. Well, there you have it, folks. That's another installment in the iWish series, which this wasn't a bad device. I've looked at pretty bad devices in iWish. This is good, it's just got a pretty terrible battery life, and it's a bit too small. That's what she said. But I thank you all for watching this one. I really, really do appreciate it. And as always, please take care, stay safe, be good people. I'll see you all in the next video, which I've got something special to show you. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'm going to be working on it for the next couple of days to get it prepared for the review. But oh boy, I can't wait to show you it. It's something really good. But until the next time I see you all, please take care of yourselves and keep being awesome. And feel free to explain the rabbit hole that I've put myself in, because I just don't even know.
If you like this content, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.